People always think bigger is better. Whereas with all of these other pairings, I figured, oh, I'm just going to kill it. But then we come in with one pairing with you guys and you're outperforming. I'm like, this is nuts, man. Whatever you're doing, your team is kicking butt, man.
Tell me a little bit about yourself professionally. What is your background?
I've been in real estate. That's kind of been my main profession for since about 1998. But I've been kind of an entrepreneur prior to that, and still in kind of entrepreneurial mindset. So I'm always dabbling in something. But my base is real estate. I own a brokerage here in Mesquite with about 12 agents. So that's kind of my forte.
Love it. That's been about 26 years or so.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So Ty, for you, what was your main motivation and reason for wanting to make passive income?
Well, in real estate, it's a grind. It's day to day, especially when you have a brokerage. I hate to say it, but it's a lot of babysitting, kind of a lot of hand holding, and it becomes more than a full time job. I enjoy it. I enjoy real estate. But it's just really time consuming, and so I just kind of saw myself down the line, like where am I going to be? And if I stick with traditional, conventional type of 401k or something like that, I'm not going to be retiring until I'm about 65, 70 years old, and by that time it's too late for me for what I want to do. I want to travel. I want to have my health. I want to see the world. So I want to be able to have that passive income to where I'm not just sweating a 9 to 5, having to work. I want that passive income to work for me so I can be out doing the things I want to do.
Love that. Love that. And what have you actually tried before in terms of trying to make passive income? Have you tried
I'm
it?
just now getting started on this type of activity. So I do some forex trading, and then I have an Amazon e-com store that's new. So I don't have any results on that yet. That's really it right now. Getting into crypto a little bit, but for the most part, most of my money is in this platform here. Not just this one, but I'm involved in another one as well. So I'm kind of doing a side by side to see what's going to perform the best, and then
Yeah.
I'll get a little bit more aggressive with that platform.
Yeah, I love that. Julio did mention, that you have a side by side that we are very interested in, and so that's definitely going to be something that'll be exciting to see at the end of the year where you shake out and just kind of continue to monitor it, of course, until then. So the Amazon store, you just started that one. Is that one being ran for you, or you're involved in that? How's that?
It's being ran for me.
Okay. And
Once again, the more hands off, the better.
yeah, of course. As far as that's concerned, I've done Amazon for a bit of time and, it didn't work out very well for me, but I have since switched over to Walmart, and Walmart has been a lot more profitable on my experience. So when we reconnect here in the next couple of months, I'm going to check back in with you on your Amazon store, see how things are going, and just offer any insight that I possibly can at that time. If you
Absolutely, man.
allow.
Yeah, and I'm all ears, dude. So anything you come across that is working for you, working for the team, working for anything, outside of what you're doing, yeah, I'm always open.
Love it, love it. So for you, you've kind of gotten into do you on the forex side, are you actually trading yourself, or are you using an algorithm, or you're talking about the passive option or the other option for the other program that you're in?
Yeah, it's also a trading algorithm as well, pretty hands off. They do require, and you're familiar with the company, so I probably don't have to go into it, but it starts with an N. Let's leave it at that. So
Rhymes with burp, maybe.
yeah, exactly. And they've been great. My returns have been pretty good. This last month's been pretty slow. They do require you to participate a little bit more than ATN. And to be honest with you, right now ATN's outperforming. And it's really weird because I'm trading like 40 something pairs, including gold in the other platform. Whereas here I think I'm trading maybe one or two pairs. I don't really even know.
Yeah, it is one, and it's just the Euro USD. But in order to scrape additional profits, we may kind of dabble into an extra one here and there. But traditionally, because in Forex, 90% of the trades that take place involve the US dollar. And so we keep US dollar as the main thing, and then Euro is the second biggest that's used the most. So it's just Euro, USD, that's it. But we don't have to want to focus on other markets around the world. There's a lot of analysis that needs to be done. There's a lot of parameters that need to be set. If you have 40 different pairs, for example, our trading teams are really specialists. They like to hone in on the ones that are there's a lot of volume and a little less volatility because for us overall, Ty, our whole thing is about sustainability in the long term and not just profits now and and maybe something happens pretty drastic. So we're trying to be as consistent as possible with that.
Yeah, and it really surprised me because, people always think bigger is better. Whereas with all of these other pairings, I figured, oh, I'm just gonna kill it. But then we come in with one pairing with you guys and you're outperforming. I'm like, this is nuts, man. Whatever you're doing, your team is kicking butt, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, it just pays to be concentrated in our estimation, right? It's the whole adage is less is more, or simple scales and fancy fails, all of those things, right? Those are things that we really stick by, and we know, as again, it's a specialized surgeon, right? If you got someone who's a brain surgeon, they're really talented and specifically in that field, we're not going to ask them to do foot surgery, or there's a knee scope that needs to be done and this and that. It's like we want to just have them be focused and be able to perform consistently. So that's kind of what we stick to.
Yeah, no, perfect. And with the returns that are coming in probably the next couple of months, I'll probably be putting more money into ATN. So
Love
I
that.
might even pull out of my other platform and start leaning it towards you guys. So
Love that. Love that.
I'm excited about what I'm seeing as the bottom line.
100%, and we're happy to continue to deliver for you. And of course, just so you're aware, again, we look at things on a quarter to quarter and really preferably on a year to year basis. We want to be well above 60% on the annual basis, and for us, it really matters. Like compound interest really only matters the longer that you have it, right?
Hmm.
So if it's 20% one month and then 1% and then negative 10%, it's not going to really hold, right? But if it's 5%, 5%, 5%, 7%, 5%, 5%, 7%, like if it's consistent like that, then that's how you really like sizably increase your portfolio. And that's where we want all of our clients to be. And so we just care so much more about consistency and longevity.
And it makes sense. Yeah, it's a good mindset for sure.
Love it. So how did you hear about us? Was there like a particular ad or like a video that really stood
It
out
was
to you?
Facebook. It was Facebook.
Okay. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, was there specifically something that like was like, oh man, like because there's all sorts of ads, right? And it sounds like you joined the other one before you started ours. What specifically stood out to you about the ad that you saw on Facebook?
I don't know if it was a testimonial. I think maybe it was a testimonial. Then I think maybe it was just the simplicity of it. You guys came across just a real simple approach, and I was like, that seems because I'm already involved with a platform, which is kind of it's pretty. You've got to be pretty involved with it. But then something happened with one of your ads or something, one of the videos I watched or whatnot. But it was a simplicity. It was almost like a plug and play. You don't have to sit there and monitor it constantly. I mean, I'm always getting updates now, not from you guys, but from the other platform where I've got to do this, I've got to go change this, or I've got to pay attention to this. It's like, dude, I don't want to be doing that. I'd be day trading. I would be personally doing it if that was the case. But I think it was just the whatever I watched it just light went off.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the reason why a lot of our clients, they either come to us after they've joined that specific platform, or they just avoided that platform specifically for that reason because they knew they had their call with the representative for the other company, and they just knew that there was a lot more involvement that they needed to have, and they didn't want a second job. They didn't want to be responsible for all of that. It's a lot of technical things that have to be done. It's a software, it's actual like kind of ones and zeros. You need to kind of have an understanding of that. And so again, it's a big learning curve for a lot of people that again they're just not so much interested in. They want to be able to have it set it and forget, and then just be able to check in when they feel comfortable.
Yeah, and at day's end when I get my numbers, which comes from ops, I'm just like, wow, man, this is doing really well. So you
Yeah.
get those daily updates. It's like nice,
Yeah. Love
good to
that.
see.
And so how did you feel just before joining ATN? Were you skeptical at all? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was a little nervous, but I wasn't really scared or skeptical. I felt pretty confident going into it because of what I'd seen already on the other platform. I could see things happening, and that this concept of the bots or the algorithms, it works. So I think that kind of took the fear out. It was just a matter of what are going to be the trades, what pairings and whatnot. So that for me, it was just kind of just getting it going and seeing what's going to transpire because I know that nothing's going to drastically change overnight. So if
Yeah.
it's not working, I know I can pull out.
Sure.
It's not like I'm stuck and I'm just on, riding it out by any
Yeah.
means. I still have some control.
Exactly. And that's one of the bigger things as well. Our clients understand it's their actual brokerage account. They're the only ones that can put money in, they're the only ones that can take money out. That's specifically to you. So you can make decisions based off of allocation and how much you kind of want to, make your plan. So I'm glad that you fully understand that. And so for you, you were a little bit nervous, but not really scared or skeptical. It just was a matter of doing. Was there like a moment for you that was just like, all right, I'm just going to try it. I'm just going to do it. This is just going to happen. Because, of course, some people, when they're nervous, they don't write. So, was there like a moment or a point for you that was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do this?
Yeah, and it pretty much just happened. I think it was my initial call with you guys, and then once I got my numbers, and then what my startup was going to be and whatnot, then I was like, okay, it's not gonna hammer me. Like, it's not gonna put myself in a position where I'm in a world of hurt by doing this.
Yeah.
And like I said, I did have the confidence because of the other platform, knowing that the trading works.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of how well it would work and what the ROI would be. And I'm just at the point right now, getting older, where I was just kind of like, F it. I've got the money sitting there. It's not doing anything. It's sitting in its checking account. What do I have to lose? I just kind of eliminated the risk in my head to justify it.
That makes sense. I mean, and that's ultimately it has to be some sort of effort at moment, right? It has to be just like, okay, I'm gonna try this. And that's the whole point, right? That's why we turn away more people than we do bring in, is because some people are a little bit more desperate or a little bit more like this decision is like impacts every part of their life financially. And so it may be too big for them or whatever it is. So we want our clients to be like able to afford it, but and not be sacrificing paying their mortgage or paying
Mhm.
for other aspects of their life. So no, I'm glad that you shared that. So how was the setup with your success manager? Who is your success manager, by the way?
David,
Okay.
David. Then I met Julio. And now you. Yeah,
Love it, love it. So how was the setup with David?
dude, so easy, so simple.
Love it.
Yeah, and a lot of it helped because I already had my brokerage account set up, and I had a few other things that were already in place,
Yeah,
so that was easy. But in comparison, I mean, your guys was just plug and play. It was just almost just like flipping a switch. I couldn't believe how easy and quick it was.
yeah, yeah. And ongoing communication, right? We've got the Slack channel, we got the Telegram for updates and things like that. How has ongoing communication been for you?
It's been great. I haven't really needed a whole lot of help or assistance. I'm just letting it do its thing, and I haven't had any technical issues. I haven't had any problems at all. I get my statements, and I'm like, or I check my account. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I wish I had a ton more money to dump into it right now. So for me, it's just kind of a waiting game.
Yeah, understood. And it's like that sometimes, and you just gotta take advantage of the strategy that you maybe decided. So a lot of clients will do the compounding to see their account grow as quickly as possible, but others do smaller contributions every so often and things like that. So we'll be excited to help you again in that way of seeing what other clients are doing and maybe help you to make a strategy that works best for you. But on your end, Ty, now you have another algorithm that's happening, but also you have your Amazon store that's going on as well, and that's just getting started. But just in terms of like the beginning process or like kind of to date for you, what do you feel like makes ATN different?
The simplicity and the communication. There's no headache. I don't have to worry about it. It's not like I feel like I need to get on my computer and check it constantly. Where with this other platform, I feel like I need to watch this thing because it just feels a little volatile.
Yeah,
Whereas you're kind of my comfort blanket. I
love that. Love
know that
that.
everything's safe.
Yeah,
You know?
no, and that's great. And again, just the difference on that end is just more of you are responsible for much more than you would be on our platform and what it is that we do. So that makes total sense as to like not having to be as focused on this or anything like that. And in your eyes, like how quickly did you actually start making passive income once you got everything set up?
I think it was the same day. It was either the same day or the next day for sure. Yeah, because I got everything set up with David, and I think I just moved some money over, and then that was it. Yeah, yeah. I think it was almost same day or the next. There was no delay at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically, once your capital's there, it really starts to be a part of the rest of the capital, and it just starts to generate. So I mean, in terms of returns, right? We don't compare ourselves to other algorithms or whatever, because again, right, a lot of them are using martingale strategies, and where it's kind of a boomer bust scenario with a lot of the other types of algorithms that are out there. So we compare ourselves more to stocks or real estate and, kind of things like that. And you've been in real estate for almost 3 decades. So how would you maybe compare the returns that you've seen to this point compared to like the normal stock market or real estate market?
Well, from real estate, see, I'm more of a transactional standpoint. So it just kind of depends on how many buyers are out there, how many sellers are out there. So when it comes to ROI, I'm not in the investment game. So
Sure.
I'm not doing flips and whatnot. So I don't really know what my return is. I'm still in traditional, conventional real estate. So for that, I can't really compare it. But I know that if I was to compare it to like a CD or compare it to anything else, I feel like the ROI on this is much better because of the compound interest.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see, 4.5%, 5% CD, but that's over a year. So if you break that up, that's not that much. Well, if you're making 5% a month, that's a big difference.
Yeah. It tends to be a big difference. Yeah, it does. And so for you, how passive has it been for you after the onboarding phase? How passive has this whole thing been for you?
I haven't touched my account. I transferred the money. I put the money in the platform. Haven't touched it. Haven't withdrew any money. It's just sitting there. It's making money every day, and some days are better than others, obviously.
Yeah.
But in the long run, I mean, I think right now I'm at least 5 or 6% right now. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. I apologize, but I think it's still around 5 or 6%.
Love that. Love that. And on your end, from your perspective of where we're at right now, the communication, the simplicity, the results, all of those things. Honest question on your end. Do you believe that ATN is a scam or that I'm a scammer?
No, not at all. No, because I see it. I see it. My brokers aren't lying to me. My trades aren't lying to me. Everything's transparent. I can see it. If I felt you guys were some a scam or anything like that, I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. You guys would be dust in the wind, which is very easy to do in this type of business.
Yeah.
But no, you guys have been so transparent, easily to communicate with. I ask a question on Slack, someone's right back to me. It's been great, man. It's been great. It's kind of one of those deals where you're just waiting. Everything's so good, you're just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I understand. And just so you know, there's bound to be months, right, that are lower than where you're at now, lower than 6%, but it's just the average that we look at overall, right? We don't have a crystal ball. We're not fortune tellers. If we did, I'd give you the winning lottery numbers, but it's not that way, right? But we do know that overall, when you look at the long term of things, right, when you look at again quarter to quarter, year to year, we know where we want to be, we know where we have been, and so we expect you to be there as well. And so, considering we're able to continue on with the results that we've been able to do to this point, how likely are you to actually recommend us?
Oh, absolutely. If anybody were to ask me right now, I'd be like, look at ATN, go with ATN. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
These are gonna be returns. I know you're probably investing in more conventional methods or traditional methods, but ATN to me, it's a no-brainer.
I love it.
It's like putting it in a savings account where you don't have to touch the money, but you're making 20 times the return. So it's gonna sit there, or it's gonna sit there and make money for you. So
Yeah, and a lot of people base their decisions off of what their returns are with their capital sitting in the bank, similar to yours, right? It's just sitting on the sideline. It's obviously losing to inflation, and it's definitely something that it's not good. Don't get me on my soapbox with the bank's return rate and things like that. But on your end, right, like you weren't actually skeptical because you've seen algorithms work, you've seen kind of how that process is. But like, what would you maybe say to somebody who is a bit skeptical or maybe afraid because they've like been burned in the past before, things that they've tried before didn't actually work for them?
man, that's a good question. It's a tough question. And with all of the information that's out there right now with bot trading or algorithmic trading, it's really easy to get inundated with a bunch of similar products or similar strategies. So maybe vet them out pretty good, because some are going to be, BS. Or if you just want to cut to the chase and go with somebody that's proven, just go right to ATN. Don't even shop around, because you're just going to get caught in this rabbit hole. And the next thing you know, you're not going to make a decision, and you're going to be so overwhelmed with everyone's promises, or our platform does this, or our trades do this. But if you're not really familiar with what those bots are doing to begin with, Start off simple. Start off with someone that's doing it for you, and then learn from just baby stepping it.
Yeah.
I kind of am going against what I'm preaching here because I went into kind of a monster platform to where it can be overwhelming.
Mm.
Whereas with ATN, you guys, the results are the same, but I'm not getting as much gray hair.
Yeah, and a lot of people that we work with already have a lot of gray hair, so they don't want to keep going that
Anymore.
direction. They don't want to turn it white, right? So I love it, and we appreciate the honest feedback. Again, it's so great to have someone, because not everybody has both of the top two in the space, and it's really helpful to be able to kind of have a bit of a comparison, and it's really helpful again for also other potential people that would be interested in what we do here and having the option for passive income. So with that, we really appreciate the feedback and you kind of letting us know where we're at. How it'll work from here, Ty, of course, everything will still remain as passive and you'll still have your communication channels. You and I will reconnect again in the next about 45 to 60 days, make sure that we're still on the same, page as far as things and performance.
Cool. Sounds great.
Love
Sounds
it.
good, Aaron. Appreciate your time, man. Nice to meet you. Thank you
You
for
as
everything.
well. Absolutely. Thank you.
All
Talk
right.
soon.
Cheers. You bet. Bye bye.
So every 30 days, I talk one-on-one with my clients, and that was their experience. If you want to learn more on how we help our clients earn 60% or more per year, then click the link in the description below.